Hey everybody, J.R. Fisher here. Happy Monday morning. Looks like it's the 30th of August and we are live from, I guess, Austin. I'm really in Georgetown, Texas, but it's about 20 miles. I want to welcome everybody. Do me a favor, post in that chat section there. If you can hear me, make sure that the volume's good, that you can see me, all that good stuff. We're going to be talking about a subject today that you have to know if you want to make money online. This is a subject that you 100% have to know if you want to make money online. So you're going to want to stick with me, and it's all about building an incredible reputation or social presence or whatever you want to call it for your brand. Building really an unstoppable brand. And I've done this. I've done this with our survival food company. We've been around for over a decade now. We've sold millions of dollars of products. I've done it with my J.R. Fisher training brand. My wife's done it with her dog training. So stick with me today, and I'm going to walk you through what you're going to need to do to have this brand, this social media brand that everybody's going to want to buy from. Tyann, what's going on? Good morning. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much, Tyann. I know I'm changing up my schedule a lot. I had it set at a certain time in California. Now I've switched it, and I'm kind of gaining the audience back and switching things around. I know Saturday we had a great meeting, and I'm going to try to go live every single day this week, guys. I'm going to be talking about actually building a list and cultivating that list and emailing that list and selling product to that list and upselling that list. So from Monday through Friday of this week, I'm going to cover all those steps that you need to do. So we won't miss a thing. If you stick with me for the next 5 days, and I'll get the other things posted. I just don't have them posted yet. Stick with me for the next 5 days and you'll know how to do all these steps. Now, the first thing I will tell you is that to start building the social media brand, you got to set up your social media. Okay, this is the first thing you got to do, and it's got to be professionally done. So you can't just let's see, yay, look forward to it. Okay, that's cool. You can't just say I'm going to do social media. You've got to have whatever branding set up, and they've got to all match. So let's say you select YouTube and you select Facebook and you select Instagram. I'm just going to pick those, or Twitter, or whatever it is. You need to get branding for each one. Each one can have a picture at the top. It's going to have your logo, all those good things. So my suggestion to you is get somebody, unless you're really good at this, to come up with these logos, these brandings for you, so that your Facebook looks like your YouTube, that looks like your Instagram. They all look the same, okay? It's all the same brand, because it's really confusing if they go to Facebook and they see a certain type of branding and logo and all that good stuff, and then they get over to YouTube and it's entirely different. We don't want that. Something else I did forget. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. Give me a thumbs up on this video. All you gotta do is click that button down there. Make sure you subscribe. There's a banner down there that says subscribe. You want to click that and turn that into a gray banner, because it's going to be red. And then what you want to do is you want to ring the bell, turn all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. Yep, got a branding expert that is helping me. That's great, Tyann. And that's good if you can find somebody out there. I don't know if you necessarily need a branding expert, but you definitely need somebody who can do your graphics, your banners, so that there's, because this is like a different size for Facebook, it's a different size for YouTube, it's a different size for Instagram. So you want to make sure all those things fit well. And you also want to check them on mobile and desktop. I think a lot of people will tend to set up their artwork and it's all done for desktop. Everything's done for desktop. And the problem with that is it's going to look different on mobile. As a matter of fact, you would do better off to set everything up for mobile, because that's where most people get their information now, is from mobile. They don't use desktop. Now, I'm using desktop right now to do this live training. However, I pretty much use mobile all day long for everything, and you probably do too. So that's the first thing I want you to think about, is you got to get all these platforms set up. Now, when you're doing all these platform guys, the main reason people go to these platforms is to get useful information. And guys, I forgot to tell you, you can post any questions. Tyann's doing it, any comments in that chat section over there. This is live now. Of course, if I say that and it's recorded later on, you're going to go, well, it's not live. Okay, well, it is live right now. But if you're watching this later on and it's a recorded version of this, which will be the same thing, but it won't be live, you can post in the comment section. You won't be able to post in the chat section. Right now in the chat section, I can actually type back and chat with you, which is pretty cool. So anyhow, you've gone to somebody and they've set up all of your artwork. They've set up one for Facebook and YouTube and Instagram or Twitter, whatever it is. Once you've set all those things up, you have to have a plan. And your plan, no matter what your business is, no matter what it is, your plan should be about 90% or 80% content that is going to be useful to your viewer. And you got to know who your viewer is, who your listener is. Who is that person that's getting information from you? What do they look like? And what I mean, I don't mean physically what they look like, but I mean, well, what age are they? What part of the country are they? What do they do? What are the platforms they're on? What groups are they in? Those are the things you want to know about that audience of yours. And once you know these things, this part here is probably the single most important thing to building your brand over and above everything else. If you had terrible artwork and you had terrible content, this part here that I'm going to tell you right now, this is the part that really matters. And this part is customer service. Customer service. You have to start thinking about customer service way before you ever sell anything. I mean, way before you sell anything. You've got to treat people as if they are gold. And they are gold because these people are going to pay your bills. They're going to provide a profit for you, an income. You've got to treat them as such. And you can't say, well, I'm going to blow off this one person because I just don't like them. You're not going to like everybody. That's how that works. You're not going to like everybody, but you have to treat everybody with incredible respect. You have to give them super quick service. So if somebody contacts your company, you don't go, okay, I'm going to contact them tomorrow. No, do it right now. Do it right now. When people see that you contact them, let's say somebody posts at 10 a.m. and at 10:01 you're contacting them, they're going to be impressed. They're going to go, wow, this company is on top of stuff. Some people out there will say, well, I don't want to respond too quick because I'll look like a small company. People like small companies. People really enjoy it. I know I don't like dealing with a big company. Have you ever tried to call your cable provider or your cell phone provider or the electric company or whatever it is? It's not fun. It's not fun at all. It's much nicer to be able to find a company and I send them a private message on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever and be able to talk back and forth with them. So this customer service thing, guys, is so very important. And you're going to lose money in customer service, I'm telling you. Some people are going to rip you off. Some people are going to take advantage of you. Some people are going to want refunds that aren't due refunds. But you've got to just do it. You got to suck it up and do it. Now, if you feel like there's an individual person that's really taking advantage of you, that's getting refunds, buying stuff, constantly getting refunds, you can stop selling to them. But the point is, you want to have impeccable customer service. You want to take care of people like nobody else does, because in the beginning, that's the biggest thing you have is customer service. You're not competing because you have a huge audience against all these other people, because you probably don't. What you need to do is really, 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 really take care of people. Now, did I mention that you should take care of people? I mean, you should do it to the nth degree. So what we've done so far is we've got our branding, which is going to be our logo and our banners and all that stuff set up. We've decided that we're going to do incredible customer service. Now, you've got to figure out how you're going to do incredible customer service. The way we do it is we have an 800 number. People can call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't always answer, but we have voicemails on there. They can also email us. So I have training@jrfisher.com. I've got, info@survivalcavefood.com. So they can send, emails to any of those places. In addition to that, I have a chat box that, they can send us a message. Now, we're not live on the chat box, but they can send a message, and I use Kartra, which I'll, tell you about in the end here, but that is built into Kartra, where I can put a little chat window on any web page I have, on any property I have, on any sales page I have. And that person can go to that chat box, and it has two parts to it. In that chat box, when they start typing something in, there's a frequently asked question in there. So they may be asking something that you've answered a million times. You need to develop a frequently asked question box. Now, in the beginning, you won't have as many FAQs in there, frequently asked questions. The reason being is you don't know what your audience is going to ask that much in the beginning. However, as time goes on, you want to keep adding to this FAQ, excuse me, because you're going to have more and more of the same questions. Now, the reason for having that FAQ is it saves time and it more quickly gets those questions answered. So if I have an FAQ and it's talking about, let's say, the shelf life of our canned meat, which is a number one question, everybody else, shelf life of our canned meat, I'm going to have that in the FAQ so that they don't have to send me a message. It's not necessary for them to send me a message and for me to get an email and for me to answer back because it's asked all the time. So I put that in the FAQ so I can say, when they start typing in about shelf life, it's going to pop up and it's going to say, do you want to know about the shelf life of the canned meat? And that way I can explain to these people and talk to these people and get across to them, what the shelf life is, and I don't have to have a message going back and forth. So that's really, really important, guys, that you set that up. So that is step one, is how are you going to set up your customer service? How are you going to interact with them? Are you personally going to do it? Are you going to have a staff that's going to do it? What kind of automations are you going to use for that? You do need software to do a lot of this stuff, guys, and I highly recommend Kartra. At the end of this, I'll tell you where you can get a link for Kartra that does all your email marketing, it does your sales pages, it does everything for you. Digital marketing wise, it does everything for you, and I'll show you how you can get that for only $1, but you can watch a video and see what it does absolutely free without a credit card or any of that stuff. And I am an affiliate for Kartra, and I'm very proud of that. Kartra is one of the best digital marketing softwares in the market, bar none. So anyhow, not to get on my soapbox about that, but I really love Kartra. So what we've done so far, let's recap. We've got our branding done, which is going to be like our logos, our banners, and all that. We've decided on what social media platforms we're going to be on. I am on probably 4 of them. Only 2 of them do I really push that hard, and that would be Facebook and YouTube. But I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. And I occasionally use those. And I don't use those as much as I should. And here's the problem that I see for a lot of people who sell stuff online. Success kills motivation. Success will kill your motivation. And you would think being unsuccessful would kill your motivation, but success can kill motivation because when you've got a lot of money coming in every single day, it's hard for you to go out there and work on new things and develop new things and add stuff and do all these extra things when you've already got money coming in. It's demotivating to have money coming in. And I know you think, no, that would really motivate me. It does to a point. And then once you've got way more than what you want, or not what you want, what you need coming in, it can be kind of demotivating because you don't have that motivation. You're not worried about paying your bills. You're not worried about paying the rent or any of those other things. So you got to be cautious of that. And I have to struggle with that every day. I had to get up today and do this live with you guys. And quite honestly, I didn't need to, but I want to help you guys out. I want to see you guys be successful. I did a live on Saturday. And Susie was on there, and I don't know if you're on here today or not, Susie, but I met her, I guess in the beginning of the pandemic, right before the pandemic started, and she was a masseuse at a massage parlor, and I mean a normal one, okay, not anything weird. And I talked to her about starting her own business, and she put those things into practice, and she now has a couple homes, and she's super successful and is doing really well. So the thing is, will that success hurt her motivation a little bit? Sure it will. Sure it will. Having a little bit of success can hurt your motivation. It can, drive down your drive a little bit if you want to put it that way. So, okay, so that's what we've done. We've got our branding. We've decided we're going to be on, let's say, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Don't try to do all of them, guys. Don't try to do all the social medias. You can't do it. It's just too much, too much. Because you've got to provide content for all these social medias. That's going to be our next step. And if you are trying to do all these social medias, it's going to be near impossible for you to do what you want to do. I mean, unless you're Gary Vee, who has an entire staff of probably hundreds, if not thousands of people at this point, setting up his social media, you're not going to be able to do it. So the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to develop content. Content. What is content? Content is a multitude of things. One of the other areas that you're going to be doing your branding is probably your website. You're going to develop a website. I would recommend having a website. I know it's a pain in the butt. I know it takes a lot of time. I know it takes a lot of maintenance, but having a website can be very, very helpful. Let's see, I'm going to use Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Awesome. All very good, Tyann. I'm not a big LinkedIn person. I've probably got thousands of requests in there right now I've never even responded to. But that's okay. That's not my thing. My thing is, Facebook, YouTube, and primarily YouTube. That's what I, double down on is YouTube. Right now I'm doing a live video now. Then once you got to decide all these things, and I said, your website. So your website is going to need to have content, okay? It's going to need to have content, and this is the next key, guys, to doing any content. You need to do it on a regular basis. You need to do it on a regular basis. If you do a lot of content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then you don't do anything for 2 months, and then you come back on a Thursday and you do something, you'll never, ever build your audience. It's not going to happen. They expect fresh content. They expect new content. They expect usable content. So when you're doing your content, don't always tease them with, a little bit of stuff and say, but if you want to get the really good stuff, you're going to have to pay me for my course. Don't do that. Don't do that. You would do better to take some of the best stuff you have and put it out there and then sell them your course with all the rest of the details. I think that's an excellent plan when you're planning your content. Have some of the best stuff you do, and that's what I try to do. The best stuff I do, is going to be my free stuff. That's it. So if you want my very best stuff, you don't have to give me any money. However, if you want to know how to implement a lot of those things and you want a detailed path, then I would highly suggest you buying one of my courses, because in the courses, it's going to walk you through all that information I give you in the free content. But in the free content, I give you a lot of information. A lot of people take my free content and build an entire business, and they do very, very well. Let's see, what is your take on YouTube Shorts? Use them along with side, more normal vids, or just shorts. I've seen the shorts, Tyann. I've seen some of my favorite content creators use them. I've seen some of my favorite content creators entirely ignore them and not use them. I personally, now this is just my way of looking at it, don't think they're useful. And here's why I don't think they're useful. If somebody wants shorts, they're probably going to go to TikTok. That's where they're going to want to have that. No more than I would put a 15 or 20 minute training video on YouTube, or on Facebook, because they're not going there for that. So I think you have to make content that fits the platform. And what I've seen a lot of platforms do is they try to be everything to everybody. So, Facebook's going to try to get into videos and try to steal some of YouTube's thunder and audience by doing videos. But people on Facebook still don't want to watch long videos. They just don't. People on TikTok are there for quick, short, exciting little videos. Okay, and I don't know much about TikTok, but I know everything's kind of short and fast, and I don't know how long they are. But I think it's like YouTube is saying, hey, TikTok seems to be really popular, so why don't we just put that on our platform? The problem with that is, when I go to YouTube, I don't go there for little short videos. I just don't go there for that reason. The reason I go to YouTube is to probably learn something or be entertained, which is the two things. It's entertainment or education. And it's weighted more towards education, probably 60% education and 40% entertainment. But those are the two reasons I go there. So a short is not going to cut it for me. Not for me personally. Now, I could be totally wrong and shorts are going to take over YouTube and they're going to be everywhere. I don't think so. I just don't think so. But that's my opinion. We'll have to wait and see. The court's out on that, right? And when we see the results, we'll know for sure. Right now, shorts have not taken over the regular videos. I think if you go into YouTube right now, you need to go into it and use it as the platform it is right now. And the platform it is right now is 8 to 10 minute videos. That doesn't mean you can't do a 20-minute video. Like right now, I'm probably going to go, what time is it now? 9:18. I'm probably going to go another 10 or 11 minutes. And I'm going to give longer content. This one here is going to be a 30-minute video roughly. And it's designed to teach you how to do certain things. And I can't do that in 2 or 3 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes is a little bit shorter, but that's my recorded videos. So all my recorded videos are usually I'd say probably 10 to 12 minutes is where I fall on the recorded videos. Now understand, YouTube, since we are talking about YouTube, wants you to make at least an 8-minute video. They tell you to make 8-minute videos, which is really funny because they've come out with these shorts, which you can't make an 8-minute video. Okay, they're not designed for that. But the reason they want an 8-minute video is you got to understand the only way that YouTube makes money is through ads. Those ads are put on your videos that are on YouTube. And when those ads are put in there, you're sharing in the revenue. So I get, I don't know, what is it, 65%, something like that, on ads that run on my videos. So for them to put enough ads to make your video profitable, they need at least an 8-minute video. If they have an 8-minute video, they can put maybe 4 or I don't know 5 ads in there, and they can make some money on your video. If you're making 2 or 3 minute videos, they don't have enough room in that video to run ads in there to make money. So you've got to kind of think of what is the goal of YouTube? Why is YouTube around? You know, what can I do to benefit YouTube? That should be your goal when you're doing these things, guys. There's 2 things you want to look at. Number 1, how can I benefit my audience, which is primary. That's primary. You know, what content can I do? What education can I do? What kind of entertainment can I do that's really going to benefit my audience? What can I do? Number 2, what can I do on the platform that's going to benefit the platform? If you hit those 2 things, benefit of the audience, benefit of the platform, you're going to do really well, because that's, you know, those are the 2 goals, right? You got to satisfy your audience, you got to satisfy the platform. Then you come third. You know, you're third. Okay, you're third in line here. First is the customer, second is the platform, third is you. So when you're making your content, that's how you have to think. Now, I've talked about your branding, I've talked about putting all these things on all these things and selecting your platforms that you're going to do. I've talked about consistent content. Now, what is consistent content? Consistent content is where people can expect certain content at certain times for you. So I do lives, and when I do lives, I do them in the morning. During the week, they're usually at 9 a.m. my time, whatever my time is. You know, my time in California was different from my time in Texas. We're 2 hours different now. So I lost some audience, but I also gained some audience by doing it at a different time. So when you're doing your content, you not only have to be consistent. In other words, if you're going to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you got to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every single week from that point forward. You just got to do that. Doesn't mean you can't switch and then go to Monday through Friday, or switch and go to Monday, Tuesday, but you got to be pretty consistent, because it's like if you were watching a television show and you really like this television show, and it comes on at Monday nights at 7 o'clock, and every Monday you watch this show and it's Monday night at 7 o'clock, and then all of a sudden they do it on Tuesday at 7 a.m. and then the next week they're on at Friday at 1 o'clock in the morning. You would be like, well, I can't watch this, I can't do this. And that's what happens to your audience on all these platforms. When you post, whatever content you post, it's got to be posted at the same time on a consistent basis. And that's my last leg to this. Well, it's not my last leg. I got one more leg to this branding thing we're talking about. But when you're posting content, like I said in the beginning, this is 80 to 90% of your content should be educational or entertainment. 80 to 90%. In other words, not selling anything. Now mine is to the point where I'm probably 95% free content at this point. You know, it's pretty high, 95% free content, but I've made enough to where I want to give back to you guys, and I want to teach you guys how to do this. I don't need to sell as much, but I would say you could sell probably in the 10 to 20% range, somewhere around there. Now, we've talked about you know, your content, we've talked about your branding, we've talked about your platforms, we talked about consistency, we've talked about the length of time of some of this content. The last leg of this is always be selling. That's the, you know, that's the ABCs, I guess it is, always be selling, it's something like that. But you should always be selling. And here's what I mean by that. Every contact you have with a person, let them know what you do and how they can get more information. You know, I was down at our clubhouse here for our neighborhood the other day, and I was talking to the HOA, you know, representative, and I let her know, you know, I have this YouTube channel. You know, this is what I sell. This is what I market. Here's my, you know, website. Here's my YouTube subscribe link. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe right now? I did the same thing with my wife. I said, hey, she does dog training. Do you have a dog? Oh, yes, I do have a dog. Oh, you're going to want to check out her channel. You're going to want to check out her group. So you always need to be selling. And some people say, well, I don't want to do that with friends and family and people I just meet. Well, then you won't be that successful. You won't be, because you know, you've got to have this mindset that you are always on. You are always on, no matter who you meet, no matter where you go. That could be a potential subscriber. That could be a potential customer. So open the conversation. When I talked to the HOA representative, I said, "Do you have a dog?" And she looked at me like I was crazy. It's like, "Why are you asking me if I have a dog?" When she says, "Yes, I do have a dog, and it's a rescue dog, it's blah, blah." I said, "Well, that's great, that's awesome. Hey, here's my wife. She has this website. She has this group. She has this training. She has this YouTube channel. You need to check it out." And she was genuinely interested. Now, here's what most of you are thinking. What if they aren't, JR? I'm going to be totally embarrassed if I bring up that I've got this platform and they're not even interested in it. I'll look like an idiot. So what? So what? You got to quit worrying about what everybody else thinks. If you want to build this platform, guys, and that's what stops a lot of people on content too. They're like, "Well, I can't write that. What if somebody makes fun of me? I can't do that video. What if trolls get a hold of it and they start laughing at me?" So what? You got to quit caring about that. The only person you need to care about is you and your audience. That's it. You and your audience. Trolls will always be out there. Trolls always waste their time doing stupid crap. They just do. I get trolls. I don't even care. 99% of the time I just totally ignore them and they go away, because what they really want is attention. They want somebody to interact with them. And I kind of feel sorry for those people because they don't have anything. All they've got is picking on other people's stuff. They don't create, they destroy. And that's how they live their lives. So the last leg of this, guys, is always be selling. Always be selling. The ABCs. You have to always be selling, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. I don't care if you're at a social thing in your neighborhood. I don't care if you meet somebody at a grocery store. I don't care if you're shopping for houses. Tell everybody what you do. That's the best way to get the word out. And you say, "Well, JR, I can't build my audience with, talking to people around me. I'm going to get maybe 2 or 3 here, 1 or 2 there." That's how it's built. It's built one subscriber at a time. It's built one viewer at a time. It's built, one interaction at a time. That's how your social presence is going to be built. And tomorrow I'm going to get into, I think I have a list building for tomorrow. I got to check that out. I will post in YouTube what the subject matter is going to be for tomorrow. But it's going to be this It's going to be this progression this week of selling online and all the steps you need to take. So we're going to do 5 30-minute training sessions on all these things. Now, today I talked about all this, and I want to run you through the steps again. You've got to have logos and banners that all match. You've got to pick the social platforms that you're going to want to be on. You've got to post content on those platforms that matches the platform. And Tyann asked about the shorts on YouTube. I don't think it matches the platform. I don't do them. If you want to do them, see what happens for you. Maybe it works for you. I don't know. But you've got to decide, you're certainly not going to be monetized by doing shorts because you won't have enough views. But you've got to decide what you're going to do on it. The next thing you have to decide is your schedule and how often you're going to do that. You also have to decide what mix of content you're going to do. How much is it going to be free and how much is it going to be offers to people? And I would highly recommend you not doing all free and then once a year doing an offer, because all you're going to do is upset your audience. If you train your audience that 100% of the time I do free stuff, and then all of a sudden 6 months later I'm like, "Hey, buy a course for $1,000. They're going to be mad at you. They're going to be, "Oh man, I watched all this free content all this time and you never told me you even sold anything. So I'm mad at you now and I'm going to unsubscribe." That's generally what happens. You're a whole lot better off to do what I do. And I say, "Hey, I do sell stuff. I've got stuff for sale. It's in the description below. You can check it out if you want. However, I'm going to give you free content, but about 10-20% of the time, I'm going to try to sell you something. I'm going to try to get you on my email list. I'm going to send you emails, and I'm going to sell you really good courses, really good training that you can use, that you can follow through a progression and get results." Is that fair enough? And most people are like, "Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll let you email me. I'll let you send me some stuff every now and then, because most of the time you're giving me free stuff." So they understand that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. I'm going to give you all this free stuff. You give me your email, and I'm going to email you every now and then about stuff I got for sale. Fair enough? Fair enough. And I do that on a regular basis. So I may send you some emails during the week to buy some stuff, but I may spend hours during the week giving you free training. So that's the trade-off. Now this channel here is building, and by the way, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I know a lot of you guys didn't see this live. You're probably watching this afterwards. Hit that subscribe button. If it's red, turn it gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or upload a video. Right now I'm uploading videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Saturday, I'm doing a live. I'm starting to add back my lives during the week. This week, I'm going to try to do Monday through Friday, give you some good content every single day of the week so that you can build on this and get results. So that's what I want to do this week. Tomorrow, I'll have another one set up, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, so that you have this good content. If you like what you hear, guys, I've taken you through a lot of information, haven't I? And we just got started on selling online today. But I've taken you through a lot of information. If you like what you hear, put a comment in there. Let me know. Say, JR, I like this, or I didn't like this. Let me know what you want to learn if you want to do that. Share with me in the comments, in the chat section, what are your successes? What are your problems? I love helping people out with their problems. I get emails all the time. I assist a lot of people with problems. If you're sending me a problem, make sure it's specific. Sometimes I'll get an email and it's like, I tried to run ads and it didn't work. What am I supposed to do with that? I tried to sell this product, JR, and it didn't work. Well, where did you sell it? How did you try to sell it? What did you try to do? You've got to let me know these things, because if I don't know these things, I can't possibly help you out. I can't do it. Guys, I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. I think somebody's at my front door. It's looking that way. So I've got to go answer that front door. And I think I have a repair guy, which I've been waiting for. Oh my God, the repair people are ridiculous right now. But I've been waiting for that for so long. They're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Anyhow, I'll talk to you about that later on. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Give me a thumbs up of this video if you like it. Send me some messages and show up tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll be here again, and that is Central Daylight Time, I believe it is. CDT, they call that. So convert it for your time. We're an hour later on the East Coast and 2 hours earlier on the West Coast. And everything in between, you got to calculate. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I'll talk to you real soon. See you later.